Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable members, one second. I have an announcement to make. I have an announcement to make. The announcement is that the Honorable Minister's reply will be tomorrow and the consideration of the passing of the bill will be taken up tomorrow. Right now we will go for permitted special mentions. Shri Subhash Chandra Pospilli ji, special mention. Absent. Dr. Prashant Nanda ji, absent. Shri Maharaja Sanojo Chambaji.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. My special mention is demand to launch a central sponsored pony project in Manipur like the Tiger project of India government. Sir, it is a well-known historical fact that Manipur is the birthplace of the internationally famed modern polo game, which was known to many of the British officers as Manipuri hockey on horseback. Lord Curzon, the then Viceroy from 1899 to 1905, in his
Honorable Ministers, please take your seat. Please, Brijlal ji, Manya Brijlal ji, please apni jagah le. The House is not adjourned yet. Please, everyone, please take your seats. Please take your seats. Please continue. Please continue. Please continue.
By the Manipuri.
Please, everybody, please sit down. Please settle down, please.
And though and tough, with a great stamina, is gradually becoming endangered, reducing its number below 1,000 due to the lack
anyone
of
who wants to
ground
leave will
and
leave peacefully, quietly, without any disturbance.
This specific breed of pony is also associated with the myth and history of the state. The state government, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister Sri N. Biren Singh, is trying its best effort to preserve Manipuri pony. However, due to the paucity of funds, it becomes a very difficult task for the state to bring up a huge project for preservation of this endangered rare species. Therefore, to save this pony breed from extinction, I request the Government of India through this House for a central sponsored pony project in Manipur. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shri Ramnath Thakur ji, not present. Dr. Anil Sukhdev Rao Bonde ji.
सभापति जी, धन्यवाद. मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन का ध्यान महाराष्ट्र के विदर्भ संभाग क्षेत्र के एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर आकृष्ट करना चाहता हूं. मेरा निवेदन है कि जुलाई 2022 में वर्धा एवं अमरावती जिला सहित पूरे विदर्भ में लगातार भारी वर्षा होने के कारण लगभग सभी नदी उपनदियों में बाढ़ की परिस्थिति निर्माण हुई. भारी वर्षा एवं बाढ़ के कारण दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण रूप से अनेक सामान्य नागरिकों की मृत्यु हुई एवं बिजली गिरने के कारण भी नागरिकों की, जानवरों की मृत्यु हुई. इस परिसर में जानहानि भी हुई. लगातार हुई भारी वर्षा के कारण अनेक जगहों पर आवास क्षतिग्रस्त हुए तथा किसान वर्ग के फसल को भारी नुकसान होने की जानकारी सामने आ रही है. लगभग 3 लाख हेक्टेयर से ज़्यादा जमीन के ऊपर की जो फसल थी वो क्षतिग्रस्त हुई है. अतः सदन के माध्यम से केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री जी से निवेदन है कि इस घटना का संज्ञान लेकर इस कठिन परिस्थिति में सामान्य नागरिक तथा किसानों को आवश्यक राहत और तत्काल मदद केंद्र सरकार के माध्यम से राज्य सरकार को देने के लिए मिलने के हेतु आवश्यक कार्रवाई करने की कृपा करें. धन्यवाद.
श्री केसी वेणुगोपाल जी, not present. Shri M. Shanmugam ji.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir. I want to raise to reduce the investment allowance, depreciation allowance to corporates and reduce the GST on essential commodities. Sir, I want to draw the attention of the House to a lacuna that has come in the income tax concession being given to the corporate companies and businessmen. Under the Income Tax Act, investment allowance up to 25% actual cost of new plant and machineries acquired and installed is given to the corporate SSC. which is being availed by the corporate giants. It was introduced to encourage industries to invest their capital about 50 years back. Now the position is entirely changed. The corporate giant take loan at a very nominal rate of interest from the banks for investment, where they get up to 25% investment allowance, which is transferred as capital reserves. Actually, the benefit of the investment allowance should go to the bank, since they are lenders, and if that happens, lion's share of non-performing assets will also be disappear. Similarly, depreciation allowance ranging from the rate 5 to 45%, depending on the category of equipment, is given to the companies under the Income Tax Act when GST is levied on even food articles like rice and hospital ICU room charges. In the name of revenue collection, there is no need to give the concession for corporate, which causes loss of exchequer. Hence, I would demand the government should remove the reduce of concession given the corporates to give the social justice and equity to the common people. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Fauzia Khanji.
Thank you, sir. Sir, new research shows microplastics present in frequently consumed fruits and vegetables. Microplastics are synthetic or semi-synthetic, solid, water-insoluble, high polymer plastic particles of a size of range below 5 mm. Their small size allows them to pass through wastewater treatment plants and reach oceans through surface water bodies and rivers. Microplastics, sir, are non-biodegradable and persistent in marine and freshwater. Sadly, microplastics are less studied in India, despite the country being among the major plastic consumers and producer of 5.6 million tons of plastic waste annually. Microplastics in India are used in toothpastes, detergents, cosmetics such as face wash, among others. Plastic in India is still readily available across most states, used and disposed of casually. The country is still in nascent stages in its fight against plastic pollution, and the entry of microplastics only makes it more complicated. Studies have found microplastics in Gujarat and Chennai coast, Mumbai beaches, and Kerala Lake. International studies have also found microplastics in drinking water, tap water, samples from Delhi, and bottled water from Mumbai. Sir, Delhi and Chennai also. A National Institute of Oceanographic Study has found microplastics absorbed in fish tissues. Globally, several efforts have been made to control the use of microplastics. USA has banned the manufacture of products containing microplastics in 2017. The Canadian government prohibited production of toiletries containing microplastics from 2018. The UK banned the use of microbeads in cosmetics early this year, sir. I urge the government to address this issue suitably on the lines of these several other countries.
Thank you. Shri P. Wilson ji.
Sir, I want to mention a matter of urgent public importance regarding shifting of census from the union list to concurrent list to enable states to give welfare measures to caste and communities. Sir, since 1931, no caste census has been conducted by the union government, and caste census data collected by the union in 2015 is not yet released. In 1992, constitutional amendment provided mandatory reservations for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe women in local body elections, but for other backward classes, they were only enabling in nature. When states have used these enabling provisions to provide OBC reservations in local bodies, they were struck down by the courts for want of empirical data. Though under Article 342A3, states have power to draw up SEBC list. However, the union alone has got power to conduct census as it is union subject. The largest community is ultimately denied with lawful share in education and employment in this country. Since states are not able to conduct any census to gather data on caste and communities, even to give any welfare measures for all, it is necessary to shift the entry census from union to concurrent list. Necessary action should be taken by the government in this regard, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. V. Sivadasanji.
Chair, sir, here I am mentioning the issue concerns of the people living near forest. The thousands of common people in the remote areas of our nation are worried about their land and shelter. Sir, in the name of ecological sensitive zones, people are being forced to leave their homes. They are facing the threat of eviction from their own homeland. The land where they are living is their own land, not only them, but also their forefathers were born and brought up in these areas. But the recent developments in our country is creating a painful situation for them. Lakhs of people will be evicted from these areas. This will be a large humanitarian crisis. They are unable to build or develop the schools. The citizens in India should be facilitated with the proper healthcare institutions, but in this region, they will be unable to build or maintain the hospitals, buildings or schools, the labs and other essential healthcare facilities. The development of this region will be stunted. The real estate mafia is misusing this uncertainty. Sir, they are purchasing the land for cheap prices. The people living near the forest are in extreme psychological distress. Most of them are Adivasis and poor peasants. Whatever be the cost, the people should be protected. Their lives and livelihoods should be preserved. I request the immediate intervention of the government for the suffering people of these areas. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Shri Jain Chaudhary ji. Shri Jain Chaudhary. Absent. Shri Elamaram Karim ji. Yeah.
Subject is to demand for withdrawing the decision to remove 387 leaders of rebellion from the dictionary of martyrs of India, a freedom struggle. Government of India have decided to remove 387 leaders of Malabar rebellion, including its brave leaders like Vairyangunnat Kunyahamad Haji and Ali Musliya, from the dictionary of martyrs of India's freedom struggle, jointly published by the Ministry of Culture and Indian Historical Research. It is an unfortunate move and is a part of the efforts to portray the Malabar rebellion just as a revolt between two religions. India's freedom struggle adorned by sacrifice of thousands of such valiant martyrs as recorded by our historians. There is no logic in removing these 387 leaders, as they have been officially recognized as freedom fighters by the government of Kerala. Hence, I request the government to direct ICHR to revert its decision to remove 387 leaders from the list of freedom fighters from the 5th volume of the Dictionary of Martyrs of India's Freedom Struggle. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Amar Patnaik ji.
Sir, I rise to make the following statement relating to short supply of fertilizers to Orissa during the ongoing Kharif 2022. Sir, Orissa is facing a short supply of various fertilizers during the ongoing Kharif season. Given the good amount of rainfall received in July, the agricultural operations in the state have picked up, and so also the demand for various fertilizers. But the state doesn't have a sufficient supply of fertilizers to cater to these demands. There is a short supply of 26,586 metric ton of DAP, 6,275 metric ton of MOP, and 9,365 metric ton of NPKs against the requirements as of 30th June 2022. Further, to date, the supply of urea, DAP, MOP, and NPKs is only 25%, 16%, 10%, and 20% respectively against the planned requirements of July 2022. Further, I would like to bring to your kind attention that this is not the first time that Orissa is facing an acute scarcity of fertilizers in the Kharif crops. The issue has been persisting for over a decade now. During the last Kharif season, the overall supply of urea had been 62%, against the allocation and 69% against the agreed supply plan, while for the other fertilizers, it was also 60% to 74%. Short supply of fertilizers adversely affects the agricultural production in the state and invites law and order situation in most of the districts. Therefore, I urge the government to ensure an adequate supply of fertilizers to Orissa as per monthly requirements, including the backlog of previous months to warrant smooth agricultural operations, farmers' welfare, and avoid agrarian unrest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shri Sujit Kumar ji.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I rise to demand improved rail and road connectivity to the villages affected by left-wing extremism, LWE, in Odisha. Sir, although the efforts by the Odisha government have been successful in pushing the instances of violence related to LWE to the fringes by ushering in much-needed development, sporadic acts of violence continue to threaten lives. In 2021 alone, sir, there have been 32 instances resulting in 3 deaths in the state of Odisha. Recently, one such unfortunate act of violence occurred in June 2022, wherein 3 brave commandos belonging to the CRPF were martyred in the Nuapada district of Odisha. To curb such future violence, it is essential to increase connectivity by providing linkages to remote areas on the developmental map. Sir, therefore, the state government has been continuously requesting the union government to sanction projects to boost railway connectivity between the districts such as Malkangiri to Bhadrachalam and between Nabarangpur to Junagadh. All of these are in western and southern Odisha. Additionally, the development of the stretch of NH 326 from Jaipur to Motu via Malkangiri to 4-lane road connectivity is imperative to boost development. Additionally, connectivity can also be achieved by doubling the sanction of road construction projects under the Pradhan Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY, to connect remote villages of the areas heavily affected and infested by LWE. I would therefore, sir, request active support from the central government through you to eliminate these unfortunate incidents and keep LWE in check. Thank you.
Thank you. Shri Santosh Kumar P.
I rise to make this statement. We are witnessing an alarming rate of unemployment in general and among the educated youth in particular. This is an issue that needs urgent intervention. As per the data of Center of Management of India's Economy, the rate of unemployment in the country was 7.83 in May. However, the rate of unemployment is about 13% among educated youth. Very bad. The CMIE also states that 1 in 5 college graduates are unemployed. This high unemployment rate among the college educated has caused widespread youth disillusionment, and it reflects the growing crisis in India's job markets. In February 2022, the Union Ministry of Personnel stated that there are 8 lakhs job vacancies in government, but only 78,000 have been filled. At the same time, CMIE data itself states that 17 million Indians are actively looking for a job. Shockingly, more than 12 million people had applied for 35,000 clerical jobs at Indian Railways. This is a clear reflection of the alarming rate of unemployment among Indian youth. The recent government documents accounted for 37% of documents reveal a declining trend of regular employees in the central public sector enterprises. Temporary workers accounted for 37% of the employees in 2019 to 20 compared to 19% in 2016. Hence, there is a gap, huge gap between demand and supply of job. We shouldn't forget that fact that Make in India program had promised to create 100 million jobs by 2022. Therefore, tackling unemployment among youth should be the most critical policy priority of the government, and it needs steps to be taken in this regard.
Very important, sir. I support.
Thank you. The House stands adjourned to meet at 1100 hours on Tuesday, the 26th July 2022.